Welcome to Blue Valley Author Services. My name is Craig Hansen. I'm in charge of all book formatting here at Blue Valley Author Services, and this is our first video podcast. The reason that we are doing one today is that we have had a very common misconception among some of our clients, and I want to give them a visual aid that will help them understand why we do certain things that we do and the way we do them. The very issue that I'm talking about is the common request among many of our clients that as they review one of our proof deliverables, they will look it over and they'll say, hey, at the end of chapter 5, there is an extra line or two. Is there any way that you can move that up so that it's all on the previous page and we don't have a page that's just there with one or two lines on it? Now, in print formatting, that is very easy to address, and that is because print formatting is a fixed format. In other words, you have total control over where the page breaks go. You can crunch text just a little bit with some of the spacing to get an extra line or two to fit, and this is all very common in the print world. But ebooks are a different story, and so to help you see why it's a different story, I've prepared a few examples. And so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go into a book by my business partner, actually, here at Blue Valley, the gal who does all the covers for you. And her name is Victorine Lesky. And this is a book that I formatted for her called Accidentally Married. We're just going to open this, and we're going to open it with the default viewer, which I have set on my PC as a Kindle for PC app. So now we're going to go to chapter 1, and you'll see we got some very nice formatting there. And as you scroll through, you can read. You'll see that all of these things are at a default size. And then you go, oh gee, this looks really nice, but now this is only a few lines, and isn't there a way that you can move those lines to the previous page so that we save a page? Well, first of all, there are no trees to be saved in the formatting of ebooks. And so what I'm going to show you today, this is why we say, don't worry about it. Don't sweat that detail. And this is why the end user of a Kindle or any other type of e-reader, they all work like this. It's called a flowable text document design, and that's because ebooks are basically like somewhat complex web pages. They flow based on settings that the end user, the person who owns the Kindle or the other e-reader device, actually controls. And in this app, you see that we can control font size, words per line, and some other things that don't really affect layout. But this is the same piece of text. But let's say that someone likes their text a little larger. So we'll bump it up here a bit. And they like their screen to be wider than I do. So they change those settings. Well, now when you go here, you can see that everything has just changed. Where chapters end and where they begin are completely different simply because of that little bit of a change on the part of the person reading the book who owns the Kindle device. And so now all those page breaks are completely different. And it's the same way if we go down in size. Let's say someone says, hey, I'm 20 I have great eyes, and I like to not scroll the page as much. So I like narrower pages so it looks more like a book. And now we've got a lot more text on the screen. And what you can see here is that everything about where everything falls on the page is now completely different based on a couple of user choices. And so this is why we say on ebooks it doesn't matter. This is why, because the end user can control that simply by making a change in the size of the text that they like to view and in how wide on this particular PC app on how wide they like their on-screen paper to be. And so just minor little adjustments. I did some big adjustments, but just some minor little adjustments change everything about how that book looks and how it's laid out on screen. We don't bother with that. In the print world, we'd fix it because it's wherever we put it. However we arrange the text, that's set in stone. Not so with ebooks. And that will be it for this episode of our podcast here at Blue Valley Author Services. We hope this answers some questions for you. And if there's any feedback that you have, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to helping you again real soon with your ebook project.